So I redesigned Mario. Kinda. Let me explain how we got here. But before I do, I just want to say thank you for the support on the last video. You guys overachieved on a like goal, and that fully animated DK Bonanza Final Smash is coming. Thank you so much again. Alright, now, let's go back to around 2016 when I had no worries as an obnoxious 9-year-old, and I was Super Mario obsessed. I don't wear glasses, and I was a chubby kid. Who's this guy? Anyway, I drew this picture. Beautiful, isn't it? My philosophy was to reimagine Mario as an anime character. Didn't quite work out. Moving on. 3 years later, I drew this picture in the hopes of reinventing Mario once again, but this time more realistic, grimy, disgusting, honestly. And yeah, that's a lollipop. I wanted to draw a cigarette, but I had to show my mom. Now, even older, around 14. Wait, was he taking a dump? I drew this picture of Luigi. This was a character sheet that I created for an animated series. I lost the file and paper for my Mario redesign, but that wasn't too far from what's seen here. Also, I drew Goku. He was supposed to be there too. And now we arrive here at this horrific masterpiece. This sheet was created a year after the last. It was made with the purpose of restarting my animated series project, but this time it was for a Super Mario RPG parody. Why did I make Mario violent and bloody, and why did I choose that specific game to parody? Well, I'll tell you in a later video, but this is my last redesign before this video. Now, I wanted to show you the history of this redesign to give an example of how ideas from the past help me shape future ideas. Even though I think most of my past redesigns might have been either too try-hard or edgy, it helped me come up with something that I'm happy with. Keep an image of these guys in mind throughout this video, especially this one. Before you get any ideas, I'm not making an animated parody series. I'm sorry. I'm only doing this honestly because I felt like it, and it's a fun way to see progress and not only skill but ideas. So you might have already said to yourself,
this doesn't look like much of a redesign.
And you'd be right, that's why I put kinda in the title. But my reasoning is, when creating this guy, I didn't want to stray too far from his usual design. I mean, come on, that was perfect. Instead, I wanted to tweak it and add my own subtle flavor and give him an edge. Not that type of edge. You get your mind out the gutter. One thing that immediately stands out is his schnoz. Mario already had exaggerated proportions, so I doubled it and gave it to myself. I feel like that's been a constant in all these redesigns, but I digress. Next, we have to talk about his mustache. It's my personal favorite part about his redesign, and I can't stop drawing it. Even more so than his nose, Mario's mustache has been in the gym getting swole. His stash is the design element that shares the most similarity to my last attempt at a redesign. You know, speaking on that, my previous redesign shares the most similarities with this one, mostly because that was my direct inspiration. For both of these guys, I wanted to have Mario's stature be similar to that of Mario from Super Mario RPG. However, this one is a lot less well-fed. And I did that so I could draw poses like these, and this one, and that one. Making his limbs less chunky gave me the room to maintain his small size, but gave him the ability to pull off expressive moves that Mario usually wouldn't. Or at least Mario from Super Mario RPG. That guy's compressed. This is something similar to what the late great Akira Toriyama did with Kid Goku's design in early Dragon Ball. As his vision for Dragon Ball changed from gag manga to battle shonen, he needed to tweak Goku's design and eventually age him up to be able to have believable, serious battles. Back to the comparison. Now that I've explained most of my thought process, you might be wondering,
Well, if they share similar designs, do they share personalities?
No and yes, kinda. I'll explain. See this guy right here? He's just a ball of sunshine, isn't he? Jokes aside, he's a menace in the shows. But new Mario, we're calling him that now, isn't like that. Besides the redesign, he's the Mario we know and love. With his friends. With his enemies, he's a little different. Or something like that. Now that we fully talked about base Mario, let's get into the real redesign. His power-ups and some transformations. The video's already getting pretty long, so let's just get into it with his first transformation. Fire Mario. I always picture Fire Mario to be a powerhouse, separate from him casually throwing fireballs outside of power-ups. So I wanted to capture that in his redesign. He's built like a brick wall with a flamethrower, and I think that's pretty awesome. I made everything bigger and it worked. I also wanted to convey a sense of overflowing power, but I didn't know how until I stumbled across this picture on Pinterest. I don't know who the artist was, but this picture is awesome, and without it, the design wouldn't be nearly as cool. The white eyes and the flame stash were directly inspired from this pic, so thank you whoever drew this. I also turned his skin darker to add a certain edge to the design and a nice contrast. This also makes him feel like a different Mario completely and not just a power-up. I feel like just calling him Fire Mario might be doing him a disservice. Like, he looks way different than regular Fire Mario, so I think I should call him something different, like Super Fire Mario. Maybe that's a little too on the nose, but I don't know. If you want to come up with a name, hey, post it down in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. Gotta get him as a final smash. Hey, I might animate him too. Just don't hold me to that, okay? That's not a promise. Next power-up is Ice Mario. If you have fire, you gotta have ice, and I'm not just talking about any ice, but like really cold ice. That's pretty much what this dude is. I always believed Ice Mario was underutilized and have so much cooler ideas, especially within the RPG games. So I thought I should get weird with this one. I decided to take inspiration from Super Mario Galaxy and make him completely made out of ice, but I wanted to take it a step further. This version of Ice Mario has him essentially turned into an ice sculpture that has very limited movements. The movement he does is very sudden and robotic. Yeah, he moves like how you did at your first school dance, and I saw you doing a robot. To keep him from just being an ice sculpture, I gave him the ability to create things and objects out of ice, like the two hands you see him next to. These hands are his main form of attack and can do many cool things I haven't thought about yet. Overall, this is my favorite, well, second favorite design. I still have more to get through. Anyway, I didn't just want to turn him blue and call it a day like Super Mario Galaxy did either. So I made sure I sharpened his design. The M on his hat, his mustache, the overall, his freaking nose too. I had to make sure to stay simple, but tweak what I could to sell the design. Now let's talk about that facial expression and pose. I wanted to make him very statuesque and have some sort of mysterious power to him. I also didn't want to change his proportions to make him look familiar, yet a little off. Overall, I think I might have killed this one. And if you say otherwise, go ahead, answer it. Sadly, Ice Mario was the last power-up, but now we can move on to transformations. Why did I separate power-ups and transformations? Stop asking so many questions. Anyway, I introduced to you the transformations, with the first one being Magio, or Magio, however you want to pronounce it. I don't even have it down. Anyway, this is where I decided to take the most creative liberty. I thought to myself, what transformations or power-ups has Mario never had or rarely used? After brainstorming for a while, I arrived at a mage, or wizard, or whatever you want to call it. For Magio, I'm calling him that now, I wanted to make sure that I designed him to still look like Mario, or at least look like he belongs in the universe still, but I didn't want to make him look like Caveman. So I made sure to grab inspiration from the right places. I took notes from Malo and tried to incorporate his design elements into Magio. Notice the pants. I also took inspiration from Magio's design in Final Fantasy. You can see it in the hat, but everything else you see was pretty much just because I thought it looked cool, like the staff and the cape. I also had to make sure his color palette was appropriate, and after some trial and error, I stuck with the classic red and blue, but just a little deeper. As for what he can do, well, I don't know, but I imagine he'll be using star-based and energy attacks similar to Malo and Geno. You know, from Super Mario RPG. I think there might be a trend going. Here we go, my favorite one. My favorite one, here we go. Not only is this next one my favorite one, but the last one I have for you today. Here I have Caveman Mario, or I like to call him Mario. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know it's bad, but you know what? I can do what I want. Anyway, to answer the question that no doubt some of you may have as to why I chose this to be a transformation, well, I just told you. Anyway, when I was designing these guys, I had actually just finished Super Mario Odyssey, and the caveman costume was one of my favorites and couldn't get it out of my head until this project. And now here we are. I tweaked the artist's design a bit and got rid of the fake beard for a very real, very shaggy mustache. I also gave him a more detailed face, bushier eyebrows, and crazy hair. I basically made him Fred Flintstone if he hit the gym, which is basically just Grug from the Cruise. You know, speaking of the gym, I made him beefy. And I gave him chest hair, but that's not a big deal. I believe that this design not only stays true to Odyssey, but builds upon it in a believable way that still makes Mario look like Mario, while also looking like Tarzan's dad. Now let's talk about the other things besides Mario in this design. Like the thing he's holding. I made him throw enemies at his enemies. I think that's about as primitive as it gets. Like I'm pretty sure. Not just Goombas though, but any enemy he's facing against, he could just manhandle and toss him. Oh yeah, and he also has a club that he mainly uses as a weapon, but I didn't draw a picture of it. So I made him ride a Yoshi because, well, he's a caveman, and everybody knows that caveman rode on dinosaurs. The cartoons say so. Jokes aside, I thought it would be a sore missed opportunity to not have him ride on a prehistoric Yoshi. Also, this Yoshi is designed to look like Boshi from, you guessed it, Super Mario RPG. I swear this is the last time, I'm sorry. And that about wraps up all the transformations and power-ups, guys. Wait, hold on, I think there's one more I forgot about, but I can't remember what it was. Whoa, that was a little crazy. But now that we're back, I just want to take some time to say thank you. Thank you for watching, guys, especially all the way through. That you made it this far. You made it to the end credits. Wow, that's an accomplishment. I mean, I worked super hard on these videos, so I thank you for sitting and watching my hard work. I would love to hear your feedback. Love to hear what you think about my designs. I mean, you know, this stuff I'm not taking like super seriously. This is me just like going passion. Like all my other series work, that's somewhere else that you'll hopefully see eventually. But this is just a cool passion project that I had in the back of my head for years. I mean, like you see the history that I built up here. Back on track. I just want to keep saying thank you to you guys. I mean, the support on the last video was any like more than anything I could have imagined. I only thought I was gonna get like a few views, but seeing that I got nearly 1,000 views in like 2 weeks, that made my day. And you crushed the like goal. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I definitely will be making that DK Bonanza Smash video. Hopefully soon, but it's still coming nonetheless. Yeah, guys, like, subscribe, you know, stay tuned in. I got a lot of crazy stuff coming for sure. Once again, thank you.